Hello.
How are you?
When they told me somebody was here to see me with double red sea dwellers, she's the first person I thought of. Wow. This thing is brand new.
Well, you know, it's my belief that's a 1958 6542 dual stock watch. It's called something that's not very polite.
Pussy galore, right?
Yes.
Okay, I said it. I said it nice.
You said I did not
It's
say
fine.
that.
I can
He
say
said
that. It's old, but look how new it is. Look at how thick this is. Look at the detail on it.
The color on the bezel, it's crazy.
It's bakelite.
It's a big light bezel.
Oh my God, look at their edges on this.
No, he's gonna have something in there that you're gonna go crazy
What year
over.
is this?
That's 1958.
The thing that
But this is brand new.
That's brand new, yeah.
Look at the sticker on the back.
A little bit
Wow.
nicer.
It's literally unworn.
Yeah.
oh wow.
What is it worth?
I would say 650.
What, 650,000?
Yeah.
That's insane. This watch is actually radioactive. Between 1953 and 1959, Rolex on their radium dials would actually set Geiger counters off. If you want to learn more, I'll put the link in the description below.
It's my goal to always have watches in the best condition I can find them. If I can find a better one, I would have gotten it. But if I know there's a better one out there, then I don't want that one.
What's the reference on this?
So that's a 5512, a standard
A
5512. It's the longest running Submariner in history. No date. It's not CSOP certified. It's a very simple watch. That watch was probably $100 at its time. Gilt dial, and it's called a tulip dial. It's,
Tulip?
Open, yeah. So it's a really kind of a bit of a special dial, but it's for nerds. It's for watch nerds. I came here to pick up a double red Mark IIs, which there's one from 1967 that is tropical. There's one from 1967 that's just perfect.
So this would be pretty much the same watch, just one has been patinaed and aged.
Yeah, it's just the way it worked out. It's just life's inconsistencies.
So
Rolex did not make the dials back then. So probably a Singer dial, right? And they made the dial, and that's the way it turned out, you know, and it's pretty cool, actually, right?
this could even happen from sitting in a safe, correct?
Well, there's
Let's
your
talk-
answer. That's 1967 as well. And that's what we call a chocolate dial.
A chocolate dial. Oh wow, look at the patina on that. Let me take this one off over here. Compare all 1967s.
So the Mark II is pretty easy to tell. You'll see how all the red lines all match up exactly, how the Rolex crown is all exact.
You can see this one is not as perfect, even though it's still a very, very nice example. But look at it compared to this one here. You were saying that chocolate was from sitting in the safe, or what is that? Because
You know, it's
the
just
watch
the way
looks
it worked out.
brand
I mean,
new.
I call it chocolate. I don't know. This gentleman here seems to know a lot about them.
Personally,
what
for
they
me,
look
I like the one that's considered more tropical as chocolate.
Show both to the
love
camera which one's more Hershey and which one's.
So this one is definitely more brown, and then this one is starting to fade in the center. It's very brown and starting to kind of bleed into the outsides.
That's more like factory.
Anytime that anybody takes time out of their day just to come and show me something, and obviously you know you're not gonna buy nothing from me, and I know I'm not gonna buy nothing from you, but just sharing this moment is it's a very pleasurable and honorable moment to let me see and even hold these things.
When your dad saw me walk in with the box, he was like, "Oh my God, you're here to
selling?
sell?" And I said, "No, sir, I'm not here to sell."
Yeah, he told me, he's like, you have this gentleman, it says he's something about a red sea dweller, and I looked into the camera and I was like, oh, I know who that is, and I got so excited in the back. I was actually having this discussion the other day when that gentleman came in. Steve McQueen wore Submariners, so why do they call this a Steve McQueen Explorer?
I couldn't tell you that. I really couldn't. I mean, it's been a question for decades. There's no pictures recorded that I've ever seen with Steve McQueen wearing that watch. I've never heard of him wearing that watch. But at some point, he got saddled with the moniker of having wearing that watch, and it became the Steve McQueen, and that's what it is today. And I don't think we're changing that, you know. Although he famously wore the 5513, right? Have you ever seen a picture with him in that?
Maybe it's like a Mandela effect. I feel like I have, but maybe I haven't.
What is your personal favorite? I see that you're wearing what I believe is 2 subs, or Sea Dweller and sub.
I'm wearing a couple of watches because I'm afraid to have this many watches with me. They're always in separate safety deposit boxes. I have many, but I wanted to show you a big part of the collection. I wanted to bring these down to you as I said I would.
You're very truly amazing for that. Oh my God, a sword hand Submariner.
That's a military watch.
This is so cool. So if you guys know about old Submariners, you can see they have a hole on the side. So this is what you call a pinholes case. Back in the days, for the military Submariners, it was a welded bar here. And then this is not a removable spring bar in here. Let's see, look at the bottom of it. This is not a removable spring bar, this is a welded bar in here.
The whole watch is like converted. It's supposed to be stainless steel. It's a 16800 sub, but it's converted to two-tone. It's got a two-tone.
This is crazy. I feel like a little kid in a candy store for the first time. Like if I just came, I don't know, and I just like walked into Christmas morning and seeing all the presents. So what year is this mill sub here? 75?
Yeah, that's a 5513.
Can you knock on the door and get Carlos?
And that is your dad's birthday. You already looked at it.
That's crazy.
I love it. The combination of the colors.
You know the books that were written by the Italian guy? What was his name?
Yeah, Goldberger, yeah.
No, it's
Super cool.
Oh, Patrizi, okay, yeah. Well, he's Graham Fowler.
Said 120 grand.
That's not real.
For a sub on a strap, isn't that disrespectful?
But then this is,
I would buy all 200 of them for 120.
No, I thought you told me that. No.
No, it's that's probably closer to 500.
500?
Yeah.
What?
500 and 175, the 1975 is birth year?
Yeah, 1975. Beautiful.
$500,000 on a sub on a strap.
A 1200 watch run. They were never sold to the public. They're only given the British, Secret Service.
So it was British Secret Services.
Special Service, I'm sorry.
So British Special Services is the ones who had that watch.
And there's 1200 made, and they believe between 180 and 210 exist today.
180 to 210 pieces exist.
Yeah, that's what they believe.
Supposedly there was 1,200 made, but only 180 to 210 known left in existence. What do you think happened to the extra 1,000 watches? What got you into the collecting of the vintage watches, or what, were you always in that business? If you don't mind speaking about that, or
As I sold houses over the year, I built homes. Each time I would sell a home, I would go buy a watch.
so you would treat yourself?
Yeah,
Okay.
and then some of the watches were pretty old, so I sold my first home in 1981. And that was a long time ago, I'm 55 now, I was 14 then. And over the years, I had a lot of watches. And then we started selling a lot of homes, so it was a bit too many to buy. And I got a little bored with the new watches, and you saw neat things with these that don't happen today, because Rolex has a very tight control on how they create the watch, how the watch is made, and how they let the watch out to the public. Where in the 80s, I remember swapping dials, saying, no, I don't want that dial, I would like that dial.
and you're saying that you would do these swapping of dials directly with Rolex.
But that was a deal that Rolex allowed. I don't know of any stamp dials that were not allowed by Rolex that are out on the market and worth any money.
Why is vintage, for the most part, steel when steel, from like what I've heard, even like the Daytonas, they couldn't get rid of them. They were giving away Daytonas when you would buy a Prezi. Why is it that stainless steel pieces
Are more prevalent.
correct in vintage watches?
Well, they were cheaper, right? So they were built for the masses, and it was a tool watch. So the gold ones, it was not meant to be a luxury watch when it was first made. And then they were made so well, I think they started making some gold watches. And they just got better and better and better, and that happened. That's the first watches I showed you coming back from service. Those are the radial dial.
Can you explain what the radial dial means again?
The radial dial is a Mark III that occurs between 4.1 and 5.2 million serial numbers, that has the lume plots further away from the second hands, and that's the only difference. But it gives it a look that's so different that I enjoy.
Wow. That's it. Just wow.
And
This
there,
is
the
space.
radial dial is much bigger space all the way around.
So what we're referring to is the lume plots with all the little hash marks there. You can see the lume is touching here, the Swiss made, where it says Swiss here. You can see here it's touching, and here it's a little bit higher
Yeah, I
and
think
more
that-
centered. Do you have any vintage gold pieces here with you?
I have one, and I wouldn't say it's the best piece in the world, but it's not terrible. I mean, it's not new old stock, but it's getting there. It's a 1965 GMT on a strap.
1960. This is like the original root beer. Right?
Yeah, well, sort of, yeah. And the gold bracelets on those were so brittle because they were 14 karat gold that even having it is They're dinged up just from being alive, you know?
Yeah, most of
They were
these
14
gold.
karat?
Yeah,
Is this original Rolex clasp?
yeah, sure.
What would this come on, this clasp? Like
That bracelet.
On this bracelet?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
So this is a leather strap factory Rolex?
That's a factory Rolex leather strap, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Very cool. What is this here?
Yeah, check that out. Oh, that's nothing. That's just a 5512.
Just nothing, just
The matte panels for me are just much nicer.
Yeah.
They look, it's just like the way
You're
it is
saying with
when you
gold
look.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
with this model specifically,
Yeah.
because this one is glossy.
So here we have, I would say that you're more, it's kind of hard to say, no, not even. You're tied. So you have 4 Sea Dwellers, 3 Explorers, 4 GMTs, and 3 subs.
That's what I have there? Yeah, wow. So let's make the Sea Dweller tie, okay?
Oh, nice.
So that's the Great White that came after the, it's the same history. So when they quit putting the 2 lines of red on the double red Sea Dweller in 1976, they began making the Great White, which is that. And that's a Mark 1 dial, and they had a Mark 0 dial, which I don't know if many people have ever seen. And maybe sometimes we'll get the chance to hold something they never held before. Get scratched.
I love it. He actually wears his watches. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Is there any watches that you're like, nah, I don't want to wear that? Or do you wear most of them?
I would not wear that 6542.
Just because of how sensitive it is?
Yeah.
The Mark 0 is so rare, you know. So,
Mark 0 is what it's called?
yeah. And that's a single red sub.
Single red sub. No, you just showed me this one. Let me show the difference here between the bracelets. You have, for example, this bracelet. You have this here, which is the closest resemblance to a modern Rolex bracelet. However, the center link is still hollow.
Oh, yeah.
Then here,
It's like,
we go to, what would you call this? Like a folded?
That's a full bracelet, yeah.
Folded bracelet. So you have the folded bracelet, which if you take a very close look at the sides, it's
Everything
literally
is
like a
just like
stamped sheet metal
folded.
that's
Yeah.
folded
Yeah,
over
yeah,
itself and then over itself again, and then around that link, so you can see where all the links are pressed together.
How John Mayer said it.
However, from the outside, it still looks the same. So we can see the progression of the
That's that.
Rolex bracelets.
he's got an incredible phone.
Yeah, he said.
And then here,
He has the one with
we have what we call a rivet bracelet.
I can't remember what it's called.
So that's
There's like supposed to be
easily
on
most
like 10
distinguishable
different
by the rivets
Oh,
here on the
take it
side.
out?
A ballpark for me to acquire this collection in current market value, or maybe in the next year or two, how much do you think I have to shell out? Because this is honestly probably my dream collection right here. Like, my life would be complete with just this.
Yeah. You need kids to complete your life, dude. Right? You can't do it with watches. You need children. You know, some of these watches are not very expensive. I would say these watches are in the $35,000 range, you know, these 3. And then that one's, you know, $500,000 plus. And these watches are in the $28,000 to $40,000 range.
What this
Because they're in such good shape. 35, yeah. So, and these aren't expensive, so that's $100,000 for 3 of those watches, right? And then these here might be, you know, $350 for the 3 of those or something like that. And that's not worth much, 40, 50 grand. And less for that. And that's maybe 100, that's maybe 500, and that's 10, 12,000. That's 25,000.
You don't sell, right? You just collect?
I don't sell them.
That's so awesome. This is literally
I mean, I have sold a watch before because I didn't like it or there's something wrong with it, but I'm certainly going to disclose it if there's something wrong with it. I'm going to tell them why I'm selling the watch, you know. I don't make my living selling watches, and I'm not looking to make a living selling watches.
Yeah, you do it for true passion and hobby. So just in subs, Sea Dwellers, and GMTs, to have a couple of nice examples, I might need like roughly here $2 million.
That could be, I mean, yeah, that could be probably less than that, yeah.
Just on these 2 right here. You
Yeah,
have
those-
$1 million on these 2. Let's put these 2 here so you can see. Look,
Yeah,
$1 million
you might want
GMT
to
and
stay away
stuff.
from those 2 then, right? Because those are scary, right? That's a lot of money, right? That's crazy.
Relatively. Like, hey, I got $1 million. Give me this watch. No, no, no. Find it.
Yeah.
Find it in this condition. Who has it?
Yeah, nobody has that watch. That can
You do.
Yeah.
What's the price difference between these two?
That's a $40,000 to $47,000 watch, and that's $135,000.
So you're roughly looking at a difference of $90,000 for these two watches, and they're technically the same year, same model, pretty much the same watch. And you would even say that this one is in better condition than this one. But that's not how it works with vintage. Vintage is all the little asterisks and all the little details, and it's how picky and nerdy do you want to get with your collection. Beautiful.
You had Matthew Bain on. Matthew Bain's widely considered one of the best vintage dealers in the world, and he's well trusted. And he was, I think that was a big find for you to have him on and some of his pieces, because he's literally one of the guys that I would buy a watch. I've never met Matthew, and I would buy a watch from him today. So yeah.
Thank you so much
My
for your
pleasure.
time. I
Yeah.
appreciate you
Yeah,
showing
yeah.
me your collection and taking the time to just bring them in.
I promised you I would.
Thank you
And,
for being a man of your word. I want to give a very big special thank you to this fine gentleman who allowed me to review this collection. It wouldn't be possible without the support of my fans. If you guys want me to review your collection, or if you guys have anything cool for us to check out and you want to be on video, please make sure you guys contact us via email or give us a call at the store. Comment below which one was your favorite piece. Mine definitely was that Sword Hand Submariner. That's a holy grail of mine. Thank you guys for the support. Until next time.